we're going to go stargazing, a little segment we like to hit every week here, because when we talk about the Knicks, we talk about Leon Rose bringing in stars, and eventually the big swing, I think, still will happen. Bobby, when you look at Minnesota, and you had a great conversation with Zach Lowe about this on the Low Post podcast, just kind of where they are now, Towns' injury, and then looking ahead at the finances. I'm asking you to predict something here, but if they maybe get to the second round and go out, do you think finances would play a role into what they do in the offseason, and would they have to, maybe consider trading a player like Towns because of the financials involved?
Yeah, listen, it's going to get expensive. And the Towns injury benefits Anthony Edwards from an All-NBA standpoint, because you add Edwards to the All-NBA mix now, which is like we're looking at a process of elimination here. That's an extra $40 million. It's an extra $7 million per year. They extended Mike Conley, their second apron team. There's no ifs, ands, and buts. They are in there with the big boys as far as how spending is. I think it's interesting when Towns comes back, how healthy he is. Is it second round? Is it the first round here? Owners, if you lose in the first round and you're completely healthy, yes, you are reevaluating your roster here if you have one of those expensive lineups. I think they do get a little bit of a break because of the injury. As far as where they see themselves, they're the number one seed before the injury. They've played pretty decent basketball since here. It's just hard for me to see new ownership coming in all of a sudden and then starting to slash payroll, especially where this team has been. And this team can stay in the top 3 or 4 for the foreseeable future here. So we'll see. Every front office is different. I think you see when you get through the off season, when their season ends, you reevaluate. But it's hard for me to say, yeah, all of a sudden ownership's going to slash payroll because they're a second apron team. This team still has a lot of upside. I still think they have a lot of upside with Edwards and McDaniels, and certainly Gobert, and then you have Conley and then Naz Reid. They've got good players here. It's not an older team where you're going to want to take a step back.
CP, Towns fit potentially. Where are you on that?
Yeah, I think offensively he fit quite nicely here with this Knicks team. It would have to be at the expense of Julius Randle. I don't see those two coexisting in the Knicks front court, where Tom Thibodeau prioritizes defense and front end rim protection. And so I don't see those two guys coexisting here. And so the question is, will the Knicks be willing to trade Julius Randle in an attempt to bring Karl-Anthony Towns here? I think the tricky thing is that you're going into another postseason where you're not going to get Julius Randle at 100%. And so you're not really clear on, is this guy going to be a piece here for the future with this team, or is he just going to keep them capped at a certain ceiling?